Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I of course am Carl, bringing you another vacuum exposition for today. But before we get into everything, I did want to let everybody know that today is the series finale of our little series we were doing for February. For those that are just tuning in, that haven't been watching through the month, we were doing a series on JCPenneys labeled vacuum cleaners. Just to do a little bit of recap, we are doing JCPenneys machines that we are doing JCPenneys marketed vacuum cleaners that were made or built by Eureka or Hoover. So we started with a little bit of a pattern for the month. So the very first Sunday of February, we saw a Eureka product. The second Sunday, we saw a Hoover-made JCPenneys product. The last Sunday, we saw two JCPenneys Eureka canisters. And today, we have a very rare Hoover-made JCPenneys machine, in case you haven't seen what's in the thumbnail. Before we get on to the JCPenneys machine, I did have a 0.5 vacuum exposition right here, actually. Now, what we're looking at right here, this is not a vacuum cleaner, but it is made to look like a vacuum cleaner. So what we can see here, and I'll zoom in on it right here, this essentially is a Lego set of which the vacuum was the inspiration for. This is not actual branded Lego. This is like a Mega or something. It's a Japanese Lego set that came from Shein, but it's made for, like doll houses and things like that. But it's really cool. It does have like a little power nozzle, and along with a little extended hose with the, has a little made to look like caster wheels on the bottom, as well as the top comes off. You can dump out your little rubbish bin right there. It gives me Vax or Rainbow vibes, so it's really, really cool little set. And actually, for scale, it's perfect with my little March gnome for St. Patrick's Day, so he usually lives right next to him. But anyways, let's get on to the video for today and check out a really cool machine. All right, everybody, here we have it. This is probably the rarest JCPenneys machine I have in my collection, and it is probably the only one that's self-propelled as well. Now, what we're looking at here is essentially a Hoover concept, and if you don't know what a Hoover concept is, essentially it was Hoover's replacement for the Dial-O-Matic that came out in the 70s, except with the Dial-O-Matic being a bagged machine with the bag enclosed within the front here. It was still a bagged machine that took the same bags as a convertible, but this particular machine is very, very special. Now, in 1979, JCPenneys released a line of machines that is regarded by many as legendary today. It included things like the box top bag convertible in a brick red color, as well as the JCPenneys labeled GE commercial upright, as well as this. Now, widely regarded as the first of the JCPenneys labeled concepts, this particular machine was the most expensive machine that you could buy from JCPenneys, and I'll show the ad for it right here. As you can see, that lineup was very, very colorful. I mean, you had blues, reds, whites, blacks, all kinds of things to look at in that ad, but this particular one was the top of the line. Now, this JCPenneys labeled concept was essentially a concept self-propelled, just like you would get with all the bells and whistles. It did have things like the cord winder, with the rewind button right here. It was a self-propelled machine, so you had forward, backwards, as well as a 2-speed motor, so you had a high and a low. Now that was the main features that it would have. It did have the 3-position height adjustment for your shag plush as well as your, low pile. Now, JCPenneys did add a few of their accoutrements, so they did have specific requirements on how the machine looked, mainly being the most, evident piece of this machine being the orange buttons and switches. So as you can see by the handle, the quarter rewind button, even the handle recline button, as well as the height adjustment knob, were all an orange color to kind of match some of the fonting in here. And JCPenneys really liked to put their font on machines, as well as, regular appliances too. But you have their font on the front labels, the cord rewind button, even the handle and the bag topper to show the motor settings for it as well. Now, this machine is very interesting to me because regular concepts you had different colors, of course, and this one just was out there for colors. You had blues and creams and white and orange, but one big thing that strikes me, anyways, that struck me in the ad when I first saw this machine was the wheels. I'll turn the machine real quick. This has these big monster cream wheels. Now, all concepts have big wheels in the back. This is nothing new. But this having these big white cream colored wheels, it just looks interesting and different, almost like a moon buggy of some sort. So that was a big thing, a big reason why I really like this machine. Now, I got this machine a long time ago. It's actually got kind of a sentimental story behind it as well. But as you can see, it sat in a garage for a really long time. And unfortunately, the family dog did not like this vacuum cleaner. So it clawed or bit at the front in its history. Now, this machine, of course, is getting up on 50 years old. So, it's going to have some battle scars. So I'm not concerned about the way it looks in that regard. Now, I say that this is a sentimental machine to me because this came to me at a very low point in my life. Little backstory, I worked for a carpet sales company, and after a abrupt departure, I was in need of a job. So I came home and was kind of trying to figure out where my life was going to go. And my friend Jay, who we've mentioned on the channel before, he sent me a listing and a message saying, hey, if you get time after work, you need to go get this. And he sends me the listing with this. And it was free. It was in Seattle. And I said, well, I mean, I'm not really in the greatest of moods right now, but I guess, it's something to do. So I ran up to the oldest part of Seattle in this little neighborhood, and I walked down the driveway, and there it was sitting in front of the garage. I asked the gentleman just kind of the story behind it real quick, and he said that they had bought this machine brand new from a JCPenneys and located in downtown Seattle for when they got the house. So they got the house probably in the, early 80s, from what I'm estimating. So it's really cool because this came from the original owner. It worked its whole life, and then it was retired. And then thankfully it's found a home with me, so it will not be going into regular use. It'll enjoy its retirement now, but it will get fired up today so you guys can see it. So it is a really, really cool machine. I'm really happy to have it, and it is just kind of a good memory that, out of a really bad situation, that good things can still come to you. So either way, let's get on to our run demo for this beautiful machine, and let's go from there. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed our little expose on the 1979 JCPenneys self-propelled upright, aka the Hoover Concept 1. It is a fantastic machine, and I'm very, very happy with it. I absolutely love taking a look at this one and just reminiscing the memories on it. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the video for today. Of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you again next week with a new series.